Good morning and welcome to another episode of Coffee with a Kick. I am, of course, Zander, and joining me today, as for always, is Kegan. And it is
happy to be here.
I'm glad to hear it. It's a real relief on my mind that you are glad to be here. It makes things a lot easier for me if you're glad to be here. I should look at the camera more so that I'm communicating directly with the audience. I've got
not Dr. Pepper.
I was going to say I've got some good reportage on our picks from this week. Safe to say, you pointed it out at the end of the last episode that we had a considerable amount of differences between the picks, you and I. And it comes out that in the end, one of us was significantly better than the other, with, I might add, 2 exact score predictions.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I told you, you don't have to bet for our predictions, but, you might as well try.
What is it? It's past performance is not an indicator of future accomplishment, I think is along those lines. So everything with a grain of salt, ladies and gentlemen. Day by day. But let's go ahead and get jumping in right to the first match here of the weekend. That was match day 2. Nottingham Forest and Sheffield United at Nottingham's place of residence. Let me flip over to my notes. This one got started off real quick. Nottingham Forest, just a stunning ball in, really. That ball in did all of the work for the goal that they had. But Sheffield United, I think you were, as far as predictions are concerned, your beginning of the year is definitely looking good for Sheffield not really staying up in the Premier League, because that was a nasty giveaway that they let for that first Nottingham Forest goal there in the 3rd minute. I mean, getting off quick.
Yeah, unfortunately, Sheffield is starting where they left off in the Premier League, and they're just not playing good football. They're just giving away early chances. They're making Serge Aurier look like Kevin De Bruyne. Yeah,
it's 2 assists in the game in the 3rd minute and the 89th minute. Both of them were really nice balls in. But it was a better header, I would say, on the Chris Wood goal than the first one. He had to do more work on it. But it was a nice driven header right over the goalkeeper's outstretched hand to the far post. Really nice. I mean, in the middle, Gustavo Hamer got himself a consolation goal in the 56th. So it made it a little bit interesting.
Matt Turner can't catch a break. I mean, they just keep throwing these curlers at him, and he just can't reach them.
It was a tough day for him. It could have been worse, though, truly, for Sheffield United. There was one that was just offside for Nottingham Forest.
I think they should have had 2 penalties. There was in the 6th minute and then 64th.
There were a couple. I mean, we had our troubles last week, and with penalties not being called that should have been. I think that there were a couple this week as well. At the VAR, they're really playing up the VAR's job is not to re-adjudicate a decision. It's not to re-referee the decision. It's to point out obvious errors. But I think their leash is a little bit too short. I think they're trying to treat it a little bit too judiciously, because there was one later on. I'll have to find that note for it, but I mean, there were some that really, I think, should have been called that were not. But in the
overall impression, though, Matt Turner looked good. Nottingham Forest, they were the better team.
Yeah, definitely. Nottingham Forest, I mean, I put them as they were going down, but granted, Sheffield United, always have to keep that in mind. Sheffield United. But they looked decent. They didn't look terrible.
Yeah, I think they showed spurts of quality, but it doesn't look like they can sustain that for the full 90.
Yeah.
And they won't stay up if they can't do that.
Yeah, you've got to string something. You take the full 3 at home for Sheffield. It's an important fixture for them. We'll see how they carry on going forward, but promising for Nottingham. Sheffield, You're getting the NI on your report card. Needs improvement.
Oh, yeah.
That's never want to see that. I always got it for handwriting. As you can see, it hasn't gotten better. Still needs improvement.
Still needs it.
We'll move on from there to the next match the next day on Saturday. Fulham and Brentford. Now this. And by the way, I got Nottingham Forest, Sheffield United exactly correct. 2-1 result.
Wow.
And not a 2-2 result as you had predicted. So that's one in my side. Next up was Fulham and Brentford. You got this one wrong. You said Fulham was going to win 2-1. I said that Brentford will win 0-2. So I got that one right too.
Pretty close. This one was Fulham really missed Mitrovic in this game. They missed that center of the park presence just up top. Jimenez just didn't do it.
It really was a pretty close first half, to be honest. Like it was back and forth. Fulham had some obvious chances that they didn't capitalize on, but Brentford was not so far ahead of things. But that goal at the end of the half, I really think did take the wind out of their sails, because it was a nightmare giveaway there for Fulham. I mean, it was truly atrocious. And once you bring the goalkeeper out of position, an easy little tap to the side for Wisa, I think that's how you say his last name, and
he should have had a hat trick. Yeah, he had 31st minute and 61st minute. He should have scored. But yeah, Diop, terrible giveaway at the half. And their defenders just didn't play well. Tim Ream.
No.
Yeah.
To be fair, I thought that was a very weak penalty and second yellow card they gave him there for the 63rd for that penalty kick.
Yeah, it was harsh.
It was pretty weak, I thought, especially for a second yellow, especially for a penalty kick.
Yeah.
Not a lot in it on my side, but whatever. It was a very good penalty, though. I mean, there was no stopping that.
Yeah.
So Mumbayo got one, and then there was a garbage time 90+2. It's not a lot it was nothing really to write home about. It was a simple, like you were saying, Fulham's defense was just not up to snuff in that one.
Tim Ream, I could see it being a penalty, but it was definitely very harsh to give him a second yellow.
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing even malicious in it.
No.
To send him off that early. I mean, he's got his hand in a cast. He's already defeated.
Already a cripple. He's already an American, so that's already like a point against him, probably. It was probably just that he's Americans. Like, you know what? I'm going to get this American off of my pitch. Now, Tyler Adams, luckily, he got through without anything going on. One thing I did notice, that they are, the emphasis, and this has been mentioned throughout a lot of the broadcast, but they are really emphasizing those yellow cards for dissent. Throwing out a lot of yellow cards for dissent in these early matches.
Which turned out to be a pretty crucial thing in a later game.
Yeah. So Brentford wins 3-0. Brentford looking pretty good. I thought that their first match was a good showing against. They play. What was it, Arsenal? Did they play first? No. Tottenham. Their first match against Tottenham. I thought they should have won that one. But they drew it out anyways. But all right, going on to the next one. Liverpool versus Bournemouth.
This one, Bournemouth started out hot. Should have scored in the first minute, but they were offside.
Offsides. Should have had it, though.
That third-minute goal was a rocket.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Really heavy touch there by Alexander-Arnold to give the ball away. It was really sloppy stuff there. But that, I called it a slithering sidewinder there between the legs. Really nice low shot outside of the foot, curling it back towards the post. Goalkeeper couldn't do anything about that. It's one of those you're like, I'm going to make the show effort, but I'm beat far post.
Yeah, and then I feel like from there, Liverpool just kind of took over.
They settled back into the match.
They just kind of took over. Honestly.
Yeah, they settled back in. Their 28th minute goal was a really nice, quick build-up play. And I'd say that Luis Diaz pops it up to himself, gets it on the half volley. Real nice hip turn on that one.
Yeah,
I put that one up there as goal of the weekend. I think that one was really nice.
Yeah, that one was good. Honestly, Salah's goal, I don't know if it was good by him. It was really poor defense. It was just a bad giveaway.
Well, I mean, his was off of his terrible penalty that bounced right back to him. The defense just didn't step on Bournemouth's side. It was like it was a one-on-one with the goalkeeper and Salah, and then he just pops it back in very simply. And then Diogo Jota got one in the 62nd there, just to kind of seal things off for Liverpool. But the 58th minute red card. What do you think about that one? Is a little weak, I thought. You know, it was studs up, but they were both going for the ball at the same time.
Yeah, this is where intent really matters. Mm-hmm. And you can tell he's going for the ball. As much as I don't like Liverpool, I would not have given him a red. Yellow card, definitely.
Yeah,
it was a high boot,
it was an earned yellow for sure. Studs up. But yeah, it was the mid shin. It wasn't anywhere near like the ankle or the knee. They were both going for the ball. The game kind of just got really boring after that because Liverpool settled back. I mean, they got the goal in the 62nd, like I said.
Yeah. Bournemouth did get the consolation, and I felt like at the end they could have had a chance to pull it back, and they just kept missing shots.
Yeah. Liverpool got their full 3 points. This was another one where we both got it correct, but I got it dead on. 3-1 was my prediction. 3-1 was the result. So, if you're keeping track at home, I'm so far 3 for 3 on the weekend. I mean, not to brag, but that's pretty good. Next up, continuing with the Saturday action. We move on to. Do we have to move on to this one? Do we have to?
I think we have to.
Okay, 4-1 as the scoreline looks really bad. I'll grant you that. Because it is.
Yeah, I don't think there was a lot of highlights.
Not a lot of highlights.
This one.
Cunha did have like a fair match, but it just... I only have one. I only wrote one note for this because I didn't want to watch. I didn't like it. It wasn't good. Didn't like the match.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, it was 2-0. I still felt like Wolves were getting into the second half. And then they let, of all people, Solly Marsh get 2 goals in 3 minutes.
Yeah, I think that really though it was Mitoma was man of the match because that run he had on the first goal there in the 15th minute was pretty incredible, and for the first half it was like a pretty even match to a certain extent. But yeah, that's as far as nightmares go, as far as night terrors go. Giving up 3 goals in the first 10 minutes of the second half, not a great situation to be in, really.
I can't imagine that was the halftime team talk. I imagine it was the opposite. Let's not give up 3 goals. But I think the Wolves goal was pretty lucky.
Oh, come on. It was a good corner, well placed, and Hwang.
He might as well just picked it up and walked in. There's nothing.
The defender didn't even jump. I gave him a pretty easy, as far as tap-ins go. This is a tap-in header for sure. And then my Wolves picked up a red card. Really, for Nunez, that was really silly. It was a frustration second yellow card. It wasn't straight red. It was second yellow. But it was really just the frustration reading on him that we couldn't do, that we did so poorly, really. It was not a great match. Brighton definitely looked like a good side this season.
I think it was selfish from Nunez because now he's going to be out.
Yeah.
The next game. They already aren't scoring goals. First goal of the season coming in this game. And so you really need your playmakers, and him doing that I think it hurts him more for the next game than it did for this one.
Yeah, I'll need to see who we've got up next. I take these things as they come. Hey, good attendance though, 31,000 people there. I have no idea what capacity for Molineux is. Yeah, so moving on from a Wolves. We both got that one wrong. We both thought it was going to be. Actually, you had them winning 3-1. Oddly enough, I
thought they were going to turn it around.
Listen, they looked like they had more attacking innovation against Manchester United than they did in this one for sure.
But as we found, United is.
As we found out, United actually is kind of bad. Which, you know what, it's bad for my preseason predictions for top 4, but I will take it. I will take it every day of the week, cash it into the bank. Moving on to the next one. Speaking of Spurs and United, this one we both got wrong. We both thought this would be a draw. Not even close to a draw, really. I thought that Tottenham really controlled this match pretty easily. United had some opportunities. Really, they should have had a goal in the first half. There was a lot of opportunities for United. A lot of real just missed badly opportunities there. 23rd minute. Rashford should have had one. Yeah. Should have had one there. 27th minute. I think a possible PK. But they didn't think it was on VAR didn't say it was. I thought it was. And then they had another free header at the inside the 6-yard box, 36th minute, went wide. I mean, he was standing there all alone. I can't remember who it was, but he was standing there all alone, watched it come in, head it, and just way off. And you pay for it in the end when you're missing those good opportunities.
Yeah, it was. I felt like in the first half, United had 10 minutes of a really good spurt. In the second half, they had 10 minutes of a really good spurt. But the rest of the game, it felt like Tottenham, they were kind of doing what Tottenham wanted them to do.
Yeah.
And then you got that awesome volley from Sarr in the 49th minute. It was a good cross from Kulusevski, as Hunter used to call him, Kulusexy.
Well, in the first half, he was messing up a lot in the attacking third. I kept hearing his voice just like he was in the right positions, but that last touch that he would have wasn't correct. But he remedied that in the second half because he got Mata Star there, the goal. And then the 83rd minute. 83rd minute, just to kind of put icing on the cake there for United, an own goal by Martinez. Should have been a goal. I mean, the Tottenham guy
he touched it. It was an off-speed nutmeg. It was an off-speed meg. Davies gets that little touch.
It's pretty embarrassing. But Spurs, they definitely. I thought they controlled this match to a good extent. And just United, you guys, you gotta convert on the opportunities that you're given. Why am I holding this knife? I've been doing crafts.
You gotta convert. Cut them up.
Gotta. All right. Anyways, what's up next? What's happening? Oh, that's right. This match. Oh, did I say what we got for this one? Oh yeah, we both got that one wrong. Next one, we both got it right. Definitely not as exciting as I would have thought. Manchester City versus Newcastle United.
It had a moment.
It had a few moments, but this was really one of those anaconda games for City where they just kind of smother all the play and take the possession and just not a lot happens. I thought that oh my goodness, I know the boy's name. What's the boy? Mr. Foden. Mr. Foden filled in nicely for De Bruyne. He's filling in a similar manner, but Foden has a more. I feel like he has a stronger nose for goal, like personally. Like he tries to score his own goals. De Bruyne, I feel like, is always looking for the assist, essentially. Yeah. But Phil Foden will take that motion forward to kind of be, I don't know, self-motivated towards scoring a goal, as opposed to De Bruyne, who will often, be fantastic. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But there's a different sort of feel from him being in that playmaker role than De Bruyne brings.
Yeah, Foden, as I said as I was watching the game, this was his next coming of age game.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like he just, in a Newcastle midfield that is very good,
Yeah.
he pretty much dominated all four guys in that midfield.
Looked really
Dominated
good.
some defenders. He was all over the place.
His link-up play with Alvarez, was very encouraging. It was really good stuff. Holland felt a little out of it in this match. Not very crisp at all.
It's going to be interesting to see how he fares without the service of De Bruyne. He should have scored 2 goals. They just barely went past the post.
Yeah, it's fractions of inches there.
Yeah, he'll get him next time. He'll be fine.
And he would have had one, save for that fantastic slide tackle inside the box in the 59th minute by the Newcastle defender. That was certainly a goal-saving tackle because he was about to hammer that one. But it was a gutsy win by City on a short week. It was one of those trap games, kind of short week. You're not 100%. For personnel or just general energy, and you've got a stalwart opponent in Newcastle. Yeah, gutsy win.
Our entire bench, besides our backup goalie, was academy players. So, we had like 5 guys.
Makes sense why you didn't have a single substitute the whole match then, huh? Yet everybody go the full 90 or 90 plus because they do tons of stoppage time now.
Yeah, Pep's got his Champions League now, so I trust him wholeheartedly.
There you go. All right. We both got it right, just not as interesting as we would have hoped. Next up, West Ham United. This was some sort of London derby. Is this like the South London derby? Do you know?
Yeah, no. Yeah,
West London derby? Maybe it's the West London derby. I don't know. I have no. It's one of them because they're both.
Sounds about right. I think Chelsea's to the west.
West Ham and Chelsea, and this one, we've also both got right. Oh wait, I'm skipping Aston Villa. Sorry, Aston Villa. They aren't a Spanish club. It's Aston Villa and Everton. I've been so frustrated with myself. I keep saying Villa because I took Spanish in high school.
Aston Villa
and Everton. Shoo, baby. This one got out of hand.
This is the Aston Villa I wanted last week.
Yeah, we both got this one wrong, actually. I thought Everton looked really good in the previous match. They were unlucky to lose that one to Fulham. And I don't know where that squad went. It was not a pleasant experience there.
Don't trust a team that has held a U.S. men's national team legend. Tim Howard on Everton, axe him. Clint Dempsey, Fulham, can't trust him.
Can't do it.
18th minute, John McGinn showed off his Scottish jig with that half volley. That was a thing of beauty. Just one time, it was great.
It was a great half volley. Pickford had trouble in this match. It was he gave up. I mean, he clobbered that guy for their penalty in the 24th minute. It was a well-deserved penalty there.
My favorite is he then gets up, he's limping, and he's like asking why. And I'm like, dude, he touched it, and then you broke his leg.
Yeah, it was not great. Oh man, I forgot to make it up. Was it the Villa goalkeeper who was having such a great match?
Yeah, Emi Martinez had some pretty great saves. 60th minute for sure. I mean, it was a clear chance he saves it, but Villa in general looked real good.
Villa looked good in Everton. I mean, their goal in the 51st minute. Where was he thinking that throw-in was going? Where was he going with that? He basically just threw it in to Villa.
It worked out for the team it needed to work out for.
Sorry, flip that. That was the 75th minute. The 51st minute, the throw-in was quick and caught the whole defense off guards.
It went straight to an Everton guy, and he kicked it straight to Leon Bailey.
Yes, and the 75th minute one was the one where he threw it directly to Duran, and it was easy. It was, I mean, to have concede 2 goals based off of throw-ins, like as the main motivator, that's not what you're looking for as a defense. you're going to be watching some film on that one. Like, so why were none of you looking at the ball as this was getting thrown in? And also, why were you throwing it backwards where the other team was? Try to throw it to our players next time. Just a hint.
Yeah, my one issue with that one is the broadcasters were just zeroing in on Michael Keane. And they weren't even talking about the guy who threw the ball. And they were like, Michael Keane, terrible mistake. And he wasn't even thinking it was going to go to him.
Yeah, why would you? There was one guy, there was another defender like close down the line. Like, just go back to him. It's a safe play. Keep the game rolling. But it was really bad. I wanted to go back because Guardiola, your big offseason signing, did have a goal-saving tackle there. I forgot to mention. That was a very key play. Yeah, in the 70th minute, that was.
The
Guardiola.
The one issue is the G is silent, so it's just Vardiol.
Oh, it's Vardiol. Okay.
But the announcers kept saying Guardiola.
Yeah, and Guardiola. I'm like, no, that's Pep.
That's the manager.
That's Pep.
I wasn't so angry about it, but Kalen was next to me, and he was just like, "This is so dumb. I hate these announcers."
Well,
Aston
Villa. It's like Ilkay Gundogan. It's not Gundogan, as they said it. Gundogan. No, it's Gundogan.
That old PlayStation game, Gundogans.
Yeah, but so it's just Vardiol. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, he saved you guys from drawing level there in the 70th minute. Anyways, back on to the matter at hand. Villa over Everton handily. We'll see if they can keep up the momentum in their next match.
Aston Villa look a lot like the 2016-2017 Liverpool. Oh. Not quite the 17-18 team, but their attack is deadly. John McGinn reminds me of Henderson. Just really pulling the strings, and yeah, they're a scary team.
Yeah, them, and I mean we've got Brighton looks really good, Villa looks really good, City. We know they're good, but their attack has not been as formidable as it has been in the past. Mm-hmm. But we'll move on to the match from yesterday. Not very great, actually. Crystal Palace and Arsenal. Not a very thrilling match. I have 3
This
notes.
one, I don't know. I felt like Crystal Palace let Arsenal get the win. I felt like Crystal Palace played well enough.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. They were scrappy. I would say that they were really hanging in there for a long time. That first half was a lot of scrappy play from Crystal Palace. Not a lot of good opportunities on either side. It was really the second half was only where things started to kind of break up a little bit.
Another poor goalkeeper decision.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, it was a little clever play. Real fast play by Arsenal on that free kick, catching everybody except for the 2 people involved off guard for sliding it through. And then, I mean, it was a race to the ball, and the attacker won. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Johnstone is not – he's a hefty boy. I'm not sure he's going to be beating Nketiah to the ball.
No. He is – that's definitely a mismatch as far as speed is concerned.
Yasu, though, that's one of those where I believe earlier in the game I don't know if it was a yellow card for the dissent, but he definitely argued.
I think the first yellow was like a bit of dissent and a bit of time wasting. Mm-hmm. It was like a combo. And then but as far as like the foul for the second yellow, I mean, like maybe a little bit of a tug, but
it was just you just gotta let him go when you're on a second yellow, though. Like
you got situational awareness. I mean,
it was poor.
It made it for a nervy last 23 minutes there for Arsenal.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. That 73rd minute. I just feel like that's got to be a pin on Partey.
That's my note. I thought that they got robbed of a penalty kick there. For that one. I mean, they kicked his legs out from under him. They had him beat. How's it not? What is it? Like, what are we doing here?
It seemed like because Partey's leg was just in the way and the Crystal Palace guy hit his leg, they said Partey wasn't trying to foul him. Although he clearly knew what he was doing.
Yeah. It's like, why you run into my leg all the time? It's because you're putting it there so I'll run into it. It's, so they're calling it defensive positioning as opposed to an active foul. Is that
which? After it happened, Partey was partitioning for a yellow, which he should have gotten a yellow. Because supposedly if you are telling the ref what he needs to do, they're going to start cracking down on that.
Well, let's see. You thought that Palace was going to win that one. I thought that Arsenal was, so I ended up being right on that one as well. All in all, that wraps up the weekend. There were some decent matches. I don't think there were any that were super thrilling. A few good goals here and there, but no major crackers. I thought the Diaz goal was pretty good there.
Yeah. I don't know that. I'll have to find it. That Antonio goal in the West Ham game, though. Really nothing going on. It's just him 1v1, the defender, and just rockets it into the corner. That one was...
is that the one where he was coming across the top and they just...
He's whipped all the way.
That was the West... You said West Ham?
Yeah.
Let me pull up. Let me get my notes.
That one was a really nice one.
Yes, I remember that one now. It was very nice. It didn't have a lot of motion on it. It was just well struck.
Yeah.
It just enough that you beat the goalkeeper's hand to the spot.
Precise.
It was a very nice one. I still prefer the Diaz one just because it's got a little bit more finesse involved and a little bit more artistry. But that was a very good goal as well. But in the end, let's see. I was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6-3 for the weekend, and you were opposite. You were 3-6. Yeah,
3-6, man.
That's a tough.
I'll get him back though.
That's a tough weekend. I've got the papers here, so I'll be able to keep track as we go through the season, and we'll see how we shape up going later on. But any other bits of news you want to cover before we head out of here?
I'll be better next week.
I'm just fishing, man. All right. Well, if that's all we've got, then it's all we've got. And where did that go? I have it right here. There it is. There we are. I've got it. I am prepared. Thanks for tuning in. Go ahead and grab yourself some coffee, watch some soccer, and we'll see you on Friday. Have a great day.